Rolling along here from SEC Media Days in Birmingham and be catching up with a bunch of different players from all the SEC schools. And this guy probably going to lead the SEC in passing. He doesn't have to say it. I'll say it. Matt Corral from Ole Miss sitting down with us. Matt, what's going on, man?
Good, man. Glad to be here.
Does that sound okay if I say you'll lead the conference in passing?
You said it, not me.
Okay. Lead the country in passing, possibly. You threw for a ton of yards last year, a ton of touchdowns. What did you make of your year last year overall?
I'm happy of the year I had, but there's definitely room for improvement. There's a lot of room for improvement that I know I could make up for next year. Definitely.
What, in my opinion, what made you guys so great offensively was not just your ability to pass and the receivers and all that, but y'all were balanced. I mean, that run game really helped take kind of the pressure off. And, when you don't know if a team's running the ball, throwing the ball, whatever, it makes you so much more dangerous. Is your run game maybe a little bit underrated with all the backs you got back there?
I definitely think it helps with all the RPOs and the passing schemes that we have. I mean, it all ties in together, and I think Lebby and Coach Kiffin do a great job of calling the plays at the right time. Definitely.
Yeah.
From Jerry and Ely to Snoop Connor, I mean, you guys just have so many weapons. You lose, obviously, in the passing game, Elijah Moore. Who are a couple guys that we need to keep an eye on at the receiver spot that you think are primed for big years?
Braylon Sanders, Jonathan Mingo, Dontario Drummond, John Rice Plumlee in the slot. We got Chase at tight ends. I mean, we're locked and loaded. There's gonna be freshmen, Braylon Brown, JJ Henry that just got there, and they're putting in work, man. And I'm excited for them.
It's an interesting spot with John because obviously he had played quarterback before you got there, and last year kind of transitioned, and then he was off playing football or baseball this spring, and he comes back. But I loved reading the article the other day. He says, look, I'll play wherever they put me. You got to love a guy like that who's a team player who
Definitely
will go wherever you tell him to, right?
Yeah.
What are we going to see John Rice run the ball, throw the ball, catch the ball this year?
I think you see a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Yeah. You can see a little bit of everything.
Talking with Matt Corral, Ole Miss quarterback. What do you like so much about Lane? Obviously, he won the fan base over very quickly. It seems like he won the team over very quickly. But what do you like about playing for Coach Kiffin?
I can be very transparent with him. He's players that have played with him in the past could vouch for that. Definitely.
Is he a little bit more relatable? I mean,
yeah.
Just in terms of a guy you feel like you can. He's called so many great offenses throughout the year.
When we go into a meeting, we're working, but it's laid back. It's nothing formal or anything like that. It's we're here to work, obviously, but we have a good time doing it.
Defense struggled at times last year, and we talked with Jalen, and there's no doubt about that. But when you have struggles like that, what the mistakes are. You can correct those mistakes.
Correct.
Got to assume that defense is going to be much improved this year.
Absolutely, and they're definitely playing with the chip on their shoulder and training with the chip on their shoulder. I mean, they're staying after every single day as a unit, going over schemes, going over whatever they need to go over, break up individuals and come over as a team, and they're all doing that player-led. Like that means something. It's all player-led. Coaches aren't telling them to do that. This is after we run, after we do our workouts, and then after we go on the field. And defense does their thing, offense is up there, coaches are gone. Like, it's just us. And that says a lot about this team.
14 interceptions last year, but most of them came in 2 games. Is it as simple as saying something went wrong in both of those games that I could fix, and what the issue was in those games, and not – because it does make a point. Like, had they been spread out and you threw like 2 in every game, okay. But the fact that it only happened in those 2 games, was it something you saw in those games and you say that's easily fixable?
I mean, I'm not one for excuses at all. I mean, I completely messed up. Arkansas, there's no one to blame but myself, and truly. And, I just never seen drop 8 before. We never talked about it. We've never didn't scheme it up. I mean, we schemed it up, but we didn't expect them to play it like that, just bailing. Get into their cones, we call it. But I know the ins and out of drop 8 now, and I'm looking forward to it.
You know,
I
you're like
promise you that.
Hey, the guy wasn't supposed to be right there. Where'd he come
Yeah,
from?
it's just the extra hole player that gets to you, and that cover 3, they just get the 2 flat players slicing, dividing, and it's different because they're not usually there, and both sides aren't usually doing that. And I learned from it definitely, and I'm looking forward to the next game. Absolutely.
How much more just finely tuned is your game now from where you were a year ago at this time?
I mean, just film work to leadership. It's grew tremendous. Everybody accountable, and I think that says a lot about who we're going to be this season.
How much are you looking forward to a packed stadium, a sold out Vaught Hemingway Stadium this year?
Looking forward to it, really. Going towards the Grove, going through the Grove. I missed it a lot.
It was different last year, right?
Yeah, it was.
It could certainly help make a difference. I was talking with Jalen about the schedule. You got to like how the schedule sets up for you guys. I mean, you get a neutral field game against Louisville to start, then you come home against Austin Peay and Tulane, but a nice little foundation before you got to go hit the road and take on Bama and Tuscaloosa.
Yep.
Do you like it, how the schedule sets up overall?
It doesn't bother me regardless of how the schedule sets up. I don't really.
You don't have to say it.
No, it doesn't really bother me if we were to have Alabama first or whatever.
That game last year, though, I mean, you guys were going toe to toe with them, and they go on to win the national championship. Do you take positives away from that game, saying, "Man, we're not far off"?
I mean, it's not a surprise. I mean, we believe we can compete with anybody in the country. We have high expectations for ourselves this upcoming season, and like I said, we have high expectations coming, and it's not so much that we're feeling the pressure from it. It's just that we know what we have to do to get it done.
Last thing for you. I mean, do you have obviously team goals? We know you guys want to win every game. You'd love to represent the West, go to Atlanta and surprise a lot of people. Do you have personal goals? I mean, do you want to be one of the leaders in passing this year?
I'm not really concerned about that. As long as I take care of what the team's if I take care of what the team wants, everything else will fall into place.
When you're not playing football, what are you doing?
Watching film. I mean, I'm playing football all day. Honestly.
Are you a video game guy though? Or are you?
Not really.
Netflix, Hulu.
I watched Netflix here.
Okay, what's the last thing you watched?
I watched a movie last night, and it was Martyrs or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I
pretty good.
It was pretty good. It was pretty good.
No, you haven't watched Space Jam yet?
No, I haven't. I just feel like it'll never be as good as the originals.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
The Jordan Space Jam for life.
Yeah.
Come on, LeBron.
I'm not even gonna. I don't know.
Matt Corral, Ole Miss quarterback. Thanks so much for the time, man. Best of luck this year.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Matt Corral. We'll be back right after this. Awesome, brother.